Hi, my name's Isabel. I'm 24 and I'm from County Wexford. I didn't have a great time in secondary school. I found it really hard to fit in and to make friends, and I think I always kind of felt different. It was strange. I always felt kind of like on the sideline without really knowing why. Every year at the end of summer, I'd always think to myself, okay, it's a new year. This year can be different. This is gonna be your year. You're gonna make friends. You're gonna have a good time in school. And the year never really came. I'm quite a perfectionist, so I also put a lot of pressure on myself. I wanted to do well. I wanted to be able to go to like a good uni. And then that was when I started like having a really rough relationship with food. Because it was kind of that one thing that I could control. Maybe if I'm smaller, people will like me more. Maybe I'll feel better about myself. And for a while it did. And I think that's what the trap is. For a while, losing weight, it can make you feel better about yourself. It has that weird exhilarating feeling, but it isn't sustainable. I moved to France for uni, and that was a really scary move. I think I also didn't quite realize what that implicated. And at first things were great. There's that honeymoon period where everything is incredible and you're meeting new people, you're making new friends, you're going to your classes, you're figuring out how everything works. And then the second semester came, so just after Christmas, and I really started to struggle. I was finding it hard to get out of bed, and I started having suicidal thoughts. I wasn't quite sure what was happening. It started to get more and more concrete, from I don't want to wake up the next day, to I don't want to be here, to planning how not to be here anymore. So at the end of the year, I ended up attempting suicide. And I think this was the first time that I actually had to face the reality that, okay, maybe you're not okay, and maybe wanting to fight this yourself isn't gonna cut it. I'd never been to see a counsellor before, I'd never been in hospital, and I didn't know what to expect. And the same thing with mental health medication. I first started antidepressants when I was 19, so it was the summer after first year of uni. I was actually really scared to start taking them because I was terrified it would change my personality. I was terrified that I wouldn't be me anymore, which thinking back on it doesn't make sense because I couldn't get out of bed, I didn't want to meet my friends, I had quit dance, and if that's what me was, well, that isn't even what I wanted, but I was just really scared, and Google can be so dangerous for that. Medication for me was a stepping stone to being able to use all of the other tools. So without medication, I don't think I would be able to like go and see my friends or like cry it out if I didn't have that little help. Medication gave me that boost to be able to access all of the things that help me feel better. But without the medication, it's a step too high. It's like you're missing a rung on the ladder. And medication for me, it was that first rung to be able to access everything else to help me keep climbing out. It didn't change my personality. I didn't grow two heads. None of my fears came true. It made my anxiety worse at first. And it took a while to get used to. I've been through over 10 medication changes. It can take a really long time to get one that's right. I think there's also this idea that, oh, here's a happy pill, you're gonna feel great. It's very subtle. With antidepressants, it's really subtle. You might feel the cloud or like the blackness start to lift a little bit. It can be easier to get out of bed. You might feel less anxious going to the supermarket. You might have a little more motivation to like see friends. But it doesn't make you happy straight away. You don't feel on top of the world. Often there's like an underlying problem, and especially if it's been going on for a long time, a lot of those unhealthy coping mechanisms can be really, really deep-rooted, and it's difficult to let go of. Medication is part of your toolbox, but it's not your whole toolbox. What helped me was finding a therapist who I get on with and who I trust, and she really helped me a lot. I think the biggest piece of advice is have hope and persevere. The first person that you talk to about your mental health, they might not help you and they might not know how. Keep going. If it's medication, if it's therapy, and even if you don't really get on with your therapist or you have to try different ones, keep going, keep trying. Like, I had to try so many different kinds of antidepressants, I did DBT, I was in hospital twice. Like, it took a really, really long time, and I'm so glad that I kept going, and I'm so glad that I persevered. I want to help people now and help people, have the words to express what's going on that I never had. I'm worthy. I have so much to offer. I can have friends, I can have a job, I can do things, and letting myself actually enjoy life, do things that I like and do things I enjoy, instead of being worried about what other people think and are they judging me, and instead realizing that there's a place in the world for me and that I'm allowed to take up that place.